The Israeli defense minister has made some very assertive statements about what the IDF would do in Gaza. He said they'd go on to occupy significant parts of the Strip. Now, Israel has long had a buffer zone along the border with Gaza, and it expanded it after the 7th of October attacks. This is what it looked like in mid-March, when the ceasefire was in place. But since then, they've extended their evacuation orders. They now cover 61% of the enclave, including much of Rafah in the south and Gaza City in the north. The Palestinians have been told to head to shelters in the Al-Muwasi zone, Al-Muwasi, right on the coast, which has never had any infrastructure for extensive settlements, even temporary ones. Meanwhile, the IDF can control the Netzarim corridor that splits north from south in Gaza and the Philadelphia corridor along the Egyptian-Gaza border in Sinai. Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has said that the Israelis will now create a new military corridor between Rafah and Khan Yunis just further north, dividing the Strip yet again.
The IDF is seizing territory, striking terrorists, destroying infrastructure. And we are doing another thing. We are seizing the Morag corridor. This will be a second Philadelphia corridor, because we are now cutting up the Strip and increasing pressure step by step, so they give us back our hostages. And the more they do not give back the hostages, the more the pressure will increase until they do.
So what's Israel aiming to do? It has effectively dismantled Hamas's ability to fight as a military organisation, but it can't break their political hold over Gaza. In attacking Rafah, the IDF is effectively bombing and then occupying the rubble. Now, the government claims that increasing military pressure is the best way to get the remaining hostages out. But the evidence hardly supports that. So far, over 130 hostages have been released during the ceasefires. Only 5 have been freed through military action. And that figure would have been 8, but the IDF mistakenly killed 3 others while they were in the process of escaping. Nevertheless, high-tempo operations are all back on as if there's never been a ceasefire. This was Khan Yunis today, where at least 17 people were reported killed. The Israeli government has called on the Palestinians to rise up against Hamas, and they'll have been buoyed by recent protests against the war in Gaza. But Hamas cracks down brutally on dissent. The unarmed civilians of Gaza are hardly capable of doing what the IDF itself cannot manage. So where does this leave the war? It looks to me as if the IDF is settling for a grumbling, ongoing war in Gaza without end, while Israel's political attention turns to the West Bank, to Hezbollah in Lebanon, and to Israel's long-standing enmity with Iran.